Hey, good morning. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Savannah, and this is Sewlivi Yarn podcast. Um, it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Last weekend was Easter. I had so much on my plate last weekend. I just wanted to do all the things, and I didn't have a lot of time. So I decided to just go ahead and scrap making a video because I knew I wasn't going to be into it. So I just couldn't do the video last week. I do appreciate your patience with me. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff on my desk right here that you can't see, but it is what it is. I tried to make a little bit of a note earlier this week so I wouldn't forget some things. Hopefully I don't. There's a lot to show you. I do hope that you can hear me all right. I am trying something called a continuity camera, which means my phone is recording me because it's got the best camera, but I can see myself on my computer screen right here. So I'm not entirely sure if the microphone is working. You know what? I should probably check that. Okay, it's working. I just wanted to double check. And then I had a small issue with it, but looks like everything is good. I just have to remember to look at the camera and not the screen, right? Anyways, let's go ahead and dive right in. I have worked on quite a bit this week. Actually, quite a bit this week. So let's go ahead and dive in. I don't think I'm going to put it in any kind of order of any kind. I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. No finishes. I am struggling to get a finish, which is really, really sad. Really sad. Oh, I guess I could say, I know a lot of you are returning viewers, which I appreciate a lot, but if you are new, what I'm wearing here is the Miles shirt jacket by Ozetta. I live in this thing almost every single day. This is my most favorite knit I have ever made in my entire life, and I keep debating on what, I'm pretty sure I'm going to reknit this thing at some point, but what color? No clue. But it is, again, a shirt jacket. I do wear it as a jacket. It has a high-low front, which this thing is amazing. I knit this using Plautelopi, held double. My first time using Plautelopi, and I love it. I love this thing so much that this poor thing goes through a lot. Anyways, so yes, that is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing it all the time. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into at least one. Here's my first whip. So I finally picked up my George's sweater again. This is by Colibri by Johanna. This is what I have. So this is where I was the last time I showed you, and I went ahead and finished up the body. I did the I-cord. This keeps freezing, so it makes me wonder if my camera is freezing. Okay, if it's freezing in between, I'm really, really sorry, but we're gonna keep going with it. I did the I-cord bind off for the body. It was a little confusing because it says to break the yarn for the sweater, break it, and then you're going to use a separate needle and do you're going to cast on provisionally. So that, to me, that's a provisional cast on, right? So it made no sense to me, but I did a little provisional cast on for the I-cord, and then I know it's hard to tell because the yarn that I used for the provisional cast on is also a creamy color. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure why, unless after I knit the straps for this sweater, I know I'm going to go around it with another I-cord, which is really weird, but I wonder if I pick up from here and continue doing the I-cord all the way around the rest of this. But I think I've noticed some weird discrepancies on my part. So myself and, did I say Johanna? She's German, I believe. Um, our gauges are incredibly off. So my, oh, you're not gonna be able to see it in the Billy bookcase. My Piet sweater is also by the same designer, and again, our gauge was off, so I had to knit a size up for that one. This one I actually went up 2 sizes for, based off of my gauge. I kind of wish I would have only gone up 1 size because this is already pretty oversized. But I noticed, okay, so my discrepancies with this, I went up 2 sizes, which means I went up to an extra large size to knit this. While it looks okay when I do put it on, it looks like a normal sweater. I did not knit the entire length of the like the body length that was recommended in the pattern. I did not knit that, not even close, because I noticed that where it was hitting was a decent thing. So I think what I should have done is actually shortened the raglan. I probably should have shortened the raglan a little bit. So now I'm a little worried that it's going to be too wide, especially with tying with straps, because I have to pick up stitches and knit really long straps to put the bow at the back of the, well, there's a bow. You tie a bow either at the back, or you can actually wear this reversible this way and cross it in the front and tie the bow in the front if you'd like. Now I'm a little worried that this is going to be too big. And I'm knitting this for my anniversary, which is in June. It's going to go along with the skirt that you can't see on the mannequin. I probably should have pulled her out and put her like right here so you could have seen it. Maybe next week I will think about that. Right now it's just, she's just wearing, what is that? A Twist and Turn shawl by Stephen West. It was last year's mystery knit along. She was naked on top, so I didn't want her to be naked. So, but yes, anyways, I'm a little worried about this thing now. I didn't realize the depth of the armholes until after I was determining the length. It's freezing again. Determining the length on this, and I was like, oh no, I didn't want to rip this out. This is 2 strands of Surrey alpaca held together. I am not going to, I don't think I want to rip that back, and I would have to like rip it back to like here, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna keep going with it, hope for the best. I did make the skirt. I paid the money for the fabric, made the skirt. I can't just say screw the pictures, right? I do want anniversary photos. So we will make do. I'm running out of time for tops. So I need to get this done so I can make a decision. It's really soft, really lovely, so lightweight. I gotta get with it. And I'm knitting it on, I think, US 6 4mm needles. I think. I don't know, I have both US 4s in here, but that was for the, I think it's US 6 because the 4s were for the I-cord bind off. Yes. So the straps, hopefully those will actually knit up pretty quickly. They're just this wide, but I don't know how long, so I'm going to have to figure that out. Actually, I should probably just put this in here. But yes, Georgia Sweater by Colbury by Johanna, knit with 2 strands of Surrey alpaca, undyed. Gotta get that done. Okay, what next? The Vesper sweater. Let's go ahead and show that, because, alright, I took a break on this one. I think I took like a week-long break. I was really upset with this. I'm not gonna lie, I was upset. And I didn't want to finish it. There was talk about, since a lot of people, well, a few people have finished this test already, and they have shown their beautiful sweaters. Not a single one looks like the sweater that the designer created. Not a single one of them, except in the striped sense, I guess. None of them were cinching in. A lot of them were really deep. So it was discussed that maybe the numbers were wrong in the pattern, which, according to my math, maybe they are wrong, but I could be wrong myself. I'm not good at math. The designer talked about possibly having a second test knit. None of that's happening. So the designer said that she was going to add in I should show you the sweater, I'm sorry. She's going to add in a decrease round right before the ribbing, but by that time I had already done my ribbing and I wasn't going to rip it out because I did a tubular bind off, or an Italian bind off. At that point I was like not going back. And then just recently she said she's going to change. All right, this is the sweater, the Vesper sweater. I've blocked mine already, even though it's not completely finished. Just because I wanted to see how it was hanging, because I was having an issue with the front neck coming up way too high, or the back coming up higher than the front, which the back does still come up a little high if I don't adjust it just right, so that kind of sucks. But this is the sweater. She's changed it to add a decrease round before the ribbing and to end split for sleeves 2 stripes sooner. So, oh, sorry. So technically, my idea originally, well, I originally thought I was supposed to be splitting after this teal stripe, and that was correct. I should have done that, but I was following the pattern because that's what she wrote, and it was wrong. So, mine comes down 2 stripes further, unfortunately. So I also shortened the ribbing. It was supposed to be 4 inches of ribbing, and I was not going to do that. And then I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like 4 inches of ribbing as well, but I just made it match my bottom. So it's blocked all the way up to this gray stripe, so none of this. So this stripe and on is not blocked yet. It'll be nice once it is blocked. And so I picked up and I'm finishing that sleeve, and then I'll be done. I'll be done with this dang thing. It's nice to wear, honestly. Whenever I try it on, it's really comfortable. It's not what I wanted. If it looked like this on her, I would have never test knit this, to be honest. I am happy that I got the yarn out of stash. So the mini stripes, or the stripes with the colors, those were a Forbidden Fiber Co. Bridgerton box I got about 2 years ago. And I had no clue what I was going to do with the yarn, but it fit perfectly with this. And then the white is just an undyed mohair that I just had in stash. Again, not counted towards my stash, unfortunately, and I didn't count any of my minis towards stash either, so it doesn't get to come out like count-wise, but it's okay. It's still out of stash, like it's not on my shelving, so not taking up any more space there. And again, it does feel comfortable to wear. Not my favorite, but I'm going to get it done. The test knit did get extended to April 30th, so that's good. The pattern is by Devin Ventry of Knitting McPurley, and it's going to be a free pattern once released. Just know it's not going to look anything like mine. You're going to split sooner. Your sleeves are going to be longer. There's going to be a decrease round at the ribbing. It is what it is. I'm just going to get it done now because I'm so close. I would like to have a finish, and it's just frustrating. Just frustrating. There is one short row placed in this thing, so. And she did send out this cute little tag that she designed to place in your sweater. Well, you don't get this, I mean, you can purchase this from her, but this little tag that I'll sew in. I debated sewing it out the bottom, like on the ribbing, but I don't think so. I'll probably just put it right here where it belongs. So that's kind of cute. I'll do that at some point. Again. This has been an absolute frustrated disappointment. I was so excited about this sweater, and then it just doesn't fit the way hers does because she did not write the pattern to match her sweater. initially. She's fixing it now. After everybody else said that they were going to just, everybody was all like, saying that they were just going to split it 2 stripes sooner to fit them better. And I had already finished the body by that point. So I was like, God dang it. Why do I got to be such a fast knitter sometimes? Was there anything else you needed to know about this? I don't think so. All right, next whip is the Farnham sweater by the Knit Purl Girl. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I had a little frustration with this one too. So this is the Farnham sweater. I'm excited to have this one. I want to pick up and do the neckband though, because the neckband is really pretty. It's like a little rolled mock neck type neckband. I really want to get mine on there. But where the bunny was, where I was last time. So I did pretty good so far. The only issue I had is after I joined in the round, is when she did an update to her, well, I don't know if she updated her pattern, but she did include video tutorials on how to do these stinking short rows so that you didn't get, like, these are supposed to match perfectly. And when I picked up correctly. It's just I still ended up with the white stitches in between. I used the blue yarn to pick up, because you're supposed to pick up with white, then pick up blue, pick up white, pick up blue. I did it. It's just it didn't turn out. I don't know what happened there. So she did release some videos, and I was like, dang it, I'm past that already, and now you put the videos out? Like, did no testers have any issues with this part? Like, I think that should have been done while she was test knitting this. Anyways, Farnham sweater. Just, not working on it a whole heck of a lot, even though I really do want this. I'm just taking my time. It's not a rush in any sense. I am using Holst Garn Super Soft. The blue, it's so dark purple, it almost looks navy blue and looks almost black. No, I guess it looks blue here, but it's a deep purple called Prussian. I wound it so that 2 strands were already together, so I don't have to worry about that. Holst Garn, super soft, it's 100% wool, and then the main color is ecru. And again, I have a, what do you want to call it? I'm using it off the cone and off a wound off skein, holding it double throughout, because it's a DK weight sweater. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you about it. It's just, yeah. I'm also doing the body decreases, so I'm doing the waist shaping, I guess you could call it, which is really nice. It's only on every stripe, and it's only on the second stripe, so that's nice. Easy peasy. I don't have to really refer to the pattern except to remember which way is it decreasing, because it is decreasing a little bit different than the Vesper sweater and the opposite, which that is another thing that kind of bothers me. I should have showed you. There's decreases along the bottom of the sleeve, right, for the Vesper sweater, and it's the decreases are directly next to each other at the end of the round and the beginning of the round, and they're facing this way, I believe, which you think, but that's leaving a gap, actually. You know what, I'm going to pull it out and show you. It's leaving a gap all the way down, and I kind of don't like that. Like, the decreases on the Farnham sweater are, I think, the opposite way. I think they're the opposite way. See the distinct line? And no matter how much I, like, tug or hold tight, it's just doing this. Which way are the decreases are facing towards that's where the stitch marker sat as well. That kind of sucks, but that's the way it was written, so I did it. Again, the Farnham sweater, the decreases are the opposite, so it's slip knit and then a knit two together, so they're facing the opposite way, so I'm not getting that same issue. I'm gonna obviously make this second sleeve the same as this one because I don't want I don't want it to be, you know, different, but it should have been the other way. Anyways, carrying on, I guess I'm assuming these are new starts for you. No, okay, I take this one back. This one was not a new start. It had barely a start last time. This is the, what is it called? The Academic Vest by Skeins Knits. Yeah, this Academic Vest by Skeins Knits. I had like 2 rounds of ribbing. And this is where I'm at now. I've been working on this almost daily. I haven't the last 2 days. I did no knitting yesterday, and you'll see why in a minute. But no knitting happened yesterday. But yeah, this is where I'm at. So I did less ribbing than called for in the pattern. So it was supposed to be 4 inches. I think I did 3 inches. And then I went straight into the color work. You know what this is funny is this right here, this little thing right here. It looks like a frog with a big old open mouth smile. That's what it looks like to me. Just a bunch of frogs. I don't know if it was my color placement made me just see that and not the actual motif that is there, but let me see here. But yeah, I've done 2. Let's see here. This is a big motif, and then there's these repeated little bits, and then this one is a big motif, and I'm about to go back into the these and the zigzag line, and then another motif. What do I want to say about this? Okay, my yarn. I'll show you my yarn. This is all my yarn. This pattern actually only calls for 4 contrast colors, but I had these mini skeins, 6 of them total. The way the pattern works is you would need more than 20 grams of the 4 colors to do, this, but because I had 6, that meant I could actually change 2 of the like little designs, and then that way I'd have enough yarn to do this. I am knitting a size smaller, and my gauge isn't perfect, so it's going to be even smaller than the size I'm going for, which kind of sucks. I'm running the risk that it's not going to fit me at all, but if it doesn't, my daughter can have it. But back to the yarn. This yarn is from an Advent I got, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas prior, from Le Garçon and Emilia and Philomene. That's what all the yarn is, Emilia and Philomene. I pull out, let's see if I can pull out, yeah, there we go. This is all the yarn is Emilia and Philomene. This one is the Josephine base. It's the mulled wine color, and the rest of them are, the rest of them are just minis, and they're different bases. Some of them are merino yak nylon, and some of them are BFL nylon. So they're not all the same, but they're really, really nice. And I wanted to use them all together since these all came in a box together. They're all based off of, well, other than mulled wine, these are based off of Christmas in Scotland. So one of these are called Isle de Skye, or yeah, Isle de Skye. I think this one is, you know what, I don't remember what all of them are. I know one of them is like called Victoria Street, and then we got Afternoon Tea at Balmoral. Balmoral? I don't know how to pronounce it. One's called Shetland Islands, which I think might be this one, the Shetland Islands. Anyways, I wanted all these to go together. I thought they were beautiful. This is actually a 2-ply, a high twist 2-ply, 100% merino. And I realized that you probably should not use a 2-ply high twist for color work. It doesn't have good stitch definition. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, the dark red, don't mind the hair. It just looks like it doesn't look like stitches like these do. So I have to remember that in the future. Do not use a high twist 2-ply as a color work yarn. But from a distance, it's fine. It looks just fine. I really like it. It's pretty. So yeah, I think I'm getting closer. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do for like lengthwise. I think I might do the entire length. It says 28 centimeters. But when I look at other project pages, a lot of people, I don't think everybody interpreted it the same way, because I believe it's from here, 28 centimeters from here, but it looks like some people did it from here. I don't have enough yarn to do it from here, so I'm going to do it from here. That's why I went with a smaller size, because I only have one skein of this, and going down one size, for me, one skein would have been enough. Granted, my gauge is way off, which means it's going to be even smaller, but I'm hoping I have enough yarn. This is also a steeked vest, so it'll be my first time steeking, which I'm kind of excited about. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. It's going by nice and quick. This one is on a US 6 or a 4mm needle, so it does knit up pretty quickly. Here's my floats if you'd like to see. I'm not catching any floats in this. We have some longer ones here, but yeah, like, well, I don't know exactly where. I think 6 stitches was the longest in this, but I didn't want to catch any floats, and I think I'm doing pretty well with that. I think I'm doing pretty well. So yeah, this is the Academic Vest by Skein Deer Knits. That got at least one skein of yarn out of my stash. The minis, again, did not count, because I did not want to count all my minis. So yeah, we got that. Alright, now I guess I do have one new start, and it's part of my acquisitions as well, so we're going to go ahead and just dive right into all that. I have to sneeze. I'm not going to though. Alright, so I like to watch Taylor of Wool Needle Hands. Is that what her podcast is called? Wool Needle Hands. She's a terrible influence. Every time I watch her video, I tend to like either put something in my Ravelry cart, or I buy yarn, which I'm not supposed to be buying yarn, but I have fallen off the deep end and bought a lot of yarn. Not all of it is here yet, but I've bought a lot of yarn lately. Anyways, I was watching one of her videos about, was it a summer knits video? I think it might have been. Like, she was just listing off a bunch of summer knits. And this one that she pulled up was very interesting. I really, really liked it. I should probably pull this up so I can give you the designer too. Let's see here. Alright, so she was going through listing some things, and she mentioned the Luca hat. The Luca hat. I would have never known about this hat. Actually, I've never heard of this designer either, and I actually really like a lot of her things. So I immediately purchased the pattern, and I paused her video and bought the yarn. So the yarn that I got, it is first time purchasing Wool in the Gang, and this is Raffia. Desert palm color. Look at it. 100% paper. This is paper yarn. And it's a mess because it's just fallen apart. This is the yarn. This is paper. Yeah, I'm crazy. So this is a crochet project, actually. It's not even knitting. But yes, you can see here, it has kind of all just fallen off this, unfortunately. But we're working with it. So the Luca hat looks beautiful. I am trying my best. I had to go down a hook size. Ooh, you're not going to be able to see that. I had to go down a hook size. This is a 2.5mm. I went down half a hook size, actually, because I wasn't hitting gauge with the correct size. which I'm a little worried about. It is a little tight on my head, but this is what I got so far. I actually finished the top part of the hat, and now I'm starting on the brim. Just barely started on the brim. You do like use a steamer and steam block this with your iron to get this shape. Mine doesn't look perfect, so I'm a little worried. But, oh, I have my hair up, you can't see. But it's really tight on my head. Ooh, that looks real fun, huh? Yeah, that looks really weird. I didn't even extend it all the way. Gosh, how many? I had like 5 more rounds to do, I think it was. Oh, I didn't even tell you the designer. So on here, it just says Paula M. That's all it says on her pattern. Paula M. or Suzanne Mueller. She's the designer. I'll have everything linked down below if you are interested. It's a beautiful hat. I'm pretty excited to get it finished. I hope it looks good on me. I'm not really a hat wearer unless like it's a winter hat. These kind of hats I never thought looked good on me, but I thought it was a beautiful hat. So I was like, ooh, I can make that. Oh. Anyway, so yeah, I bought the yarn and started crocheting. If this wasn't, so this was $25 for one of these. If that wasn't so expensive, I'd buy another one and try again and try better, because I think I've learned a little. Actually, after every round, you're supposed to like stretch it out, or else it really like curls in on itself, and that's not good. And I wasn't doing that in the beginning right here, and I wish I would have. It might have made it fit better. I don't know. It was really hard getting gauged, because what you do is you crochet the first 6 rounds and then you measure after that. And initially it was just, mine was way too big both directions, so I went down. Like she recommends going down or up depending on what you need to do, and then re-crocheting those 6 rounds and then measuring again. When I went down, I was able to hit gauge this way, because you're doing an oval pretty much, but going up and down measuring this way, I was still too big. But there's nothing I could do about that, except maybe the stretching, but even then it's too big, right? So I was like, I'm not going down even further. This is actually really tough on my hands, crocheting this paper with this little tiny hook. Like, it is really slow going. You know, is this just I gotta double check to make sure it's just a regular round. But yeah, terrible influence Taylor is. Okay, where are we? Steamed the top of the hat. Okay, so we are just single crocheting in everyone, but it's really tough. Plus, I want to be careful not to rip this paper, which I did in the beginning. I accidentally ripped the paper. If you're not careful, it can happen. But yeah, that is something I am slowly working on as well, a little bit each day. After I pick up the kids from school, like, I'll come down here, do a little bit until my hands start to ache just a tiny bit, and then go do something else. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this is a long video, I know. Or at least it feels long. Let's go ahead and get into the only acquisitions that are here so far. Yeah, I really fell off the deep end, and it all started with, like I said, it started with this. I bought this, and I was like, okay. And then I watched another video of Taylor's where she was talking about t-shirts, and she mentioned this. It's not a true 50-50, but it's like half cotton, half merino yarn that she found on Amazon. and it looked really, really nice. And then she was talking about this one shirt pattern, like a t-shirt pattern, and I actually already own the pattern for this. I bought it years ago. So I was like, oh, it'd be beautiful to do that, and I could try this yarn. So granted, I couldn't get it off Amazon because the color I wanted was not available, so I ordered it directly from them, which they are a Canadian company. It's called About Strings. But it's going to take a little bit longer because they were like, well, you're in the States, or I guess sell through Amazon for American buyers. So it's going to take a little bit longer, unfortunately, but that's okay. Anyways, that happened, and then just I bought more and more and more. It's not all here yet. You'll see it when it comes in. But what did come in was this. Purl Soho was having a sale over Easter weekend, and I bought some yarn. I really wanted some linen quill for a t-shirt. Like, I'm using linen quill for my half and half triangles wrap, which I have been working on. It's just I'm not going to pull it out of my purse. The progress doesn't look like a lot, so it's just not worth showing. But I am working on it. This would make a beautiful half and half triangle rack, a very low contrast one. Anyways, they were having a sale, and Anne Venzel keeps showing this a gorgeous tee that she just released called the Shore Tee, which I already purchased the pattern for, and I thought it'd be really nice to knit that really soon. Actually, I really want to cast it on. I looked at the yarn, like the called for yarn for that shirt. It's all Isayer yarn. It was going to be really expensive, so I decided not to. And you hold 2 yarns double, I believe, for that sweater. It's a DK weight. It's not a sweater, it's a t-shirt. But I have, let me go grab it. I should have grabbed it. Ooh, that actually is going to look really pretty. Okay, so I was like, ooh, let me see what I can do. I have this lace weight in my stash. I bought 3 skeins of this a long time ago from Knit Picks. This is Knit Picks Shadow Lace Weight. This is the Cobweb colorway. It is 100% merino wool, and it's just this. It's lace. I don't even know why I bought this. No clue why I bought this, but I have 3 skeins of it. And I was like, okay, well, one of the yarns that was held for it is a lace weight. It was the Isayer Alpaca 1, I believe. And then she used another Isayer yarn. I think it was called the Duo or Trio 2 or something. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. But I was like, okay. Then I got the email for Purl Soho having their sale, and I was like, ooh, okay. So I was looking through linen quill because I like linen quill. Linen quill is 50% Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. And so I picked this color because I thought it looked pretty similar to this. This is the Bird's Egg Blue colorway. I bought 3 skeins of this, but I only brought down 1 to show you. It doesn't really look blue here. It's a really pale blue, but I thought I could hold these 2 together. I will do some swatching first to make sure my gauge, if it's just this by itself or if I do have to do both, but this will actually make a really lovely, it's called the Shore Tee. I'll insert a picture and all that stuff, but I thought these 2 would really go together, and I think this would be nice and cozy. If I have to do or if I can get away with just holding this by itself, like gauge-wise, I did buy another color. Bought this one. This one is called Reed Gray, and I just bought it because it was on sale. It was really pretty. God, I want every color of linen quill. I really think this is beautiful yarn, but I didn't want to go too wild. Again, I also had this in stash, so if I did have to hold together with something, it would work. It would work. So, But like I said, these two, even these two, I had one more color in my cart before I made a purchase, and it was like a really muted lavender color, and all three of them in the cart together looked amazing. Like doing stripes with these three, with the three colors, would have been fantastic, but the short tee does not require stripes. I think it would actually look funny because there's a lace patterning down the sweater in vertical stripes. So yeah, this is purchase number one. So I got 6 skeins total, which is enough to do the largest half and half triangles wrap. But yeah. And then I took my daughter to, no, I forgot to mention this. This one right here. This isn't yarn, but this acquisition is actually for the Luca hat. You actually need to purchase some, what is this called? Sorry. This is called, oh, come on. It's, okay, she just has it written in here as hat wire made of plastic. And then the connecting piece. So I purchased this. She actually has a, I think she has a link in here. Yes, she does have a link in her pattern to a place to buy this. It's, I want to say it's called Millinery. I could be wrong. She has a link to purchase this, this stuff for the hat, but since she's over in Europe, I just found an American seller on Etsy. So I got that along with the connecting pieces. I don't know why I got so many. Maybe I read the listing wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, sorry. I meant to say this, that I got this too, but I meant to say it after the hat. Oops. All right, so I took my daughter to Joann's yesterday. She wanted to, well, I needed to get some sewing thread, some more sewing thread, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And she wanted to look at the yarn because she's working on I managed to like come across this, I guess, designer on Instagram. Anyways, she uses the Centro, she uses a circular knitting machine like the Centro, to make things. Like the thing I saw, she made a beautiful little, it was a seagull, super cute. But I decided to look through all her other patterns, and she actually uses the circular knitting machine to make a daisy pillow. So you use yellow, make a ball type thing, and then you crank out a bunch of tubes to make the petals. My daughter wanted to do that, so we went and got her some white yarn for the petals because she's already done the yellow center bit. Anyways, off topic. So she wanted to go look, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I just recently learned that Patton's has a linen yarn, and so I wanted to see it in person. So I bought some Patton's linen. It's 65% cotton, 35% linen, 275 yards per 100 grams. This is the cauliflower. It's the cauliflower colorway. Ooh, my face. They had a few other colors, and it was difficult. I think it was between this one and the cedar colorway, which is like a terracotta, a little bit darker than a terracotta color. I just didn't know if it looked good on me, but yep, so I got this. This is a fingering weight? No. It's listed as a light 3, so a DK weight. This is listed as DK weight, but this is probably like a sport to a heavy fingering, probably. So yeah, a lot of t-shirts are in my cart, my Ravelry cart, so I think that's what my summer is going to be consisting of, knitting summer, which is weird because it's never what I was like before. I typically just knit whatever the heck I feel like, but I think it's because I'm being influenced by a lot of other YouTubers. Everybody's talking about summer knits, and so I was like, well, I guess, I'm being influenced. It's doing it. It's not like I'm saying, hey, I gotta do it too because they are. No, it's just they're showing beautiful things, so I'm like, oh, well, look at the options. I didn't know that was out there. So I did like this color a lot, and I thought it was a really great neutral. Anyway, so yes, so that is what is here now. I have ordered some drops. I think it was Drops Alaska for a pattern, for a sweater that I want to do by Lily Kate Makes. Is that what it is? Anyways, I ordered some Plautelope in a dark green color to actually do the Guernsey Genzer in. So I ordered some of that. I think that's it for yarn purchases. I did do some fabric purchases as well because the sewing bug has kind of hit me. Yeah, I did other purchases too as well, but nothing to do with crafting. So yes, I purchased some Plautelope, and I bought this from, oh, Plautelope from Olafloss. I bought some Drops Alpaca. No, Drops Alaska, sorry. I bought that for a sweater, and I forgot, I purchased some Holst Garn. I purchased some more Holst Garn, but this time I bought their Coast base, which is a wool cotton blend. I was watching, her channel's called Denim and Rain. I forget what her name is. She's a newer to me podcaster. She lives in Washington State. I think she's a beautiful person. I really like her aesthetic. Anyway, she was showing her some of her projects, and she said she knit one of them using Holst Garn, and which perks up my ears in the first place. I love Holst Garn. And she said it was the Coast base, which is a wool cotton blend, and I thought it was beautiful. And I was like, oh, if she likes it, then it's probably pretty good. So me, being me, go ahead and jump on the Holst Garn website and go ahead and purchase some. So I did buy like 3 50-gram cakes of one, but then I kind of got suckered into one of the cones was on sale. So I got the black currant color, which I think is a darker purple, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll see when it gets here. But yeah, I bought a 500-gram cone of that because it was on sale. Eek. But yeah. So yeah, so that, and then the fabric. I bought more fabric from Fabric Wool House, or Wholesale. Why do I want to say Wool House? Because I'm thinking of Wool Warehouse. No, it's Fabric Wholesale Direct. Bought some fabric for some dresses this summer. Summer dresses. I'm not doing so great. I'm not doing so great, guys. All right, let's go ahead and jump into what I've also been working on. I'm sorry, this is long. So the no knitting yesterday was because I decided to sew. Okay, so I don't even know if I showed you this first pair. I don't think I have. So a while back, I don't even know how this came about, but I found this pattern for a pair of wide leg trousers, and I was like, cool, I like those, I want to make them. So I did. I made them. This is the first pair I made. I'm really proud of myself. This is the first one. I did get a little pucker right there, but the next two I show you, I've actually did really well. So the first pair I made, I think maybe I talked about this, where I cut my size, or I looked at the pattern, picked my size according to my measurements, and it ended up being way too big. Way too big. I was able to take in the waist with these pleats right here, which I noticed that for some reason my other pants, the pleats go the other way. I don't know what I was thinking. But I was able to take it in, so it fits me in the waist. They're a bit baggy in the hips. I'll show you a picture. I wore these yesterday actually out because I finally hemmed them. I hemmed them yesterday after I finished my third pair. But yes, so this is a linen polyester blend from Fabric Wholesale Direct in the khaki colorway. I really like it. I think I did talk about this because I was making a shirt to match and then it just looked like a prison jumpsuit. Yeah, I finally hemmed these and I realized the long hem, because there's a standard hem and a long hem. So I did the long hem on these thinking, well, I cut them to the long hem thinking that that was going to be me, because typically when I purchase pants, they're too short for me. So I was like, okay, no, the long hem was way too long. Even the standard hem is a little long, but it's still, it's better than most store-bought pants. But I was a little disappointed in the hip sizing. So I mean, I purchased more fabric for it to make more, and unfortunately the fabric was not big enough to make a full pair of pants, which is really sad. So I did use one of the fabrics as like a test, and I haven't hemmed these yet, but I'm just going to make these ones shorts. But I was able to test 2 sizes smaller, and this one fit way better. I did struggle with the waistband on this one though. I do have some, I guess right there, that little bit of puckering. I have not added a closure yet. And as you can see, I did really well on the fly. They all have pockets, inseam pockets. No butt pockets though. These were not, I rushed these ones, so they're not perfect, so I don't even know. I mean, I'll have to see when I decide to turn these into like a finished pair of shorts, if I even like them. But this is 100% cotton. No, this is a cotton viscose blend that I got at Joann's. But the size fit me well, you know, 2 sizes down. I was like, okay, cool. So I went and ordered more fabric from Fabric Wholesale Direct. I ordered more fabric, but this time I did not get the linen polyester blend, and I'm kind of kicking myself for it. I decided to get a different type of fabric because it was cheaper. I got, what is this? This is polyester twill. It did say it was good for pants, so I was like, okay, I'm cool, I'm gonna go for it. And yesterday I made a full set pair of pants. No, you know what? I'm doing the pleats the same way. I thought I was doing the opposite way. So I used the same size I did for the blue fabric. It was on the smaller side. So I had to not pleat as much for these ones. This fabric is not, that's not what I really wanted. I thought it was going to feel better. So yeah, and the standard hem ended up being, I had to do like a tiny little hem because the standard size wasn't as long with this fabric, which is weird. Oh, string. But as you can see here, I have some rippling. I'm not entirely sure what is going on here. I mean, I get what it's from. It's from sewing too tightly, I guess. The tension, maybe pulling my fabric. I don't know, but it's on all the seams, which is weird. But this fabric is shiny. Yeah, it's weird. So on these ones I did little slidey clasp, but I haven't worn them yet. I mean, I did try them on, of course, to make sure that they work for me, but I haven't tried them on since I hemmed them. So hopefully, I'm just a little disappointed with that, with the puckering. Like, what the heck? Like, if I smooth it out, like I can smooth it out, so I just don't know if I need to wash them again. Like, I do pre-wash my fabric before I sew, so that's not the issue there. I just wonder if I need to re-wash them now that they are sewn into something. Yes, coral pants. I really wanted like coral pants, so I did make myself a pair. Am I going to make another pair anytime soon? Not yet. And if I do, I am making sure 110% it is a linen, at least a linen blend, because that is what I prefer. those brown pants turned out. The fabric was fabulous. So yeah, it's just a matter of, again, that fabric is a little bit on the expensive side. This was cheaper. But yes, I bought more fabric, but those are for dresses, so those are going to be later on. So yeah, I've made a lot of pants. So that's why I went to Joann's yesterday. It's because I needed a matching color. So I got that one, and I bought 2 spools, and thinking I'd accidentally run out, but I didn't need 2 spools. I also got a brown because I did get this color fabric as well, and then I got an ivory color. I think it was called champagne or something like that, but I already have off-white thread, so bought 2 spools of this too. I know I'm not going to need 2 spools. Anyways. And my daughter helped me find this. She's really good at matching. She was like, I had 2 scraps of the fabric with me at the store, and I had my daughter with me, and she was looking, and she's like, well, what about that one? Pull it down, exact match. She's like, brilliant. And then she was able to find the exact match for the brown too. I was like, dang, girl, you good. Yeah, so that's all the acquisitions as of right now. And then the last thing I want to show you real quick, since we are on the 1 hour mark almost, I decided to help me bring down my stash, which is not going down, unfortunately, with all these purchases, was to go ahead and crank sock tubes. So what I decided is, for me, typically when I knit a pair of socks, it only takes about 50 grams for my feet. And I wear a women's anywhere from a 7 to an 8. It depends on the brand. I wear from a 7 to an 8. And typically, when I knit a pair of socks, I would actually do the heels, toes, and cuffs in the same yarn and still have about 50 grams left of the yarn. So I thought, why not just take a few skeins out of my stash one evening? I caked them up, decided to split them equally. So a lot of them were actually over 100 grams. So I was able to split more than 50. You know, it was like 53, 56, whatever it was. I split them in half and cranked sock tubes. So here are the sock tubes. Oh, don't pull. So we got this one right here. So this is 50 grams worth of socks. You could get, if you split these in half and then add a contrasting heel, toe, and cuff, you can have a decent, well, it wouldn't be that. It'd be like, maybe, you could have a decent pair of socks using this. So this yarn is, Andromeda sock yarn in the colorway Aspen. This half is going in my Etsy shop. I kept the other half for myself because I don't need that. This one, again, another 50-ish grams skein. This one is Andromeda sock yarns SSDGM, which means stay sexy, don't get murdered. So it is a My Favorite Murder themed sock blank. Well, the sock blank sock tube. So yep, and I already have mine over there. So whenever I do feel like it, all I have to do is cut in and add heels, toes, cuffs. This one's really pretty. It reminds me of dragon fruit. Is that it? You know, whatever it is where it's pink on the outside, white on the inside with black seeds. What is that? Is that dragon fruit? Passion fruit? I can't remember. That's what this reminds me of. This one is Tippy Tree Yarns. I bought this last Mother's Day. Ooh, Tippy Tree Yarns. So it's a Colorado local. Bought this from Longmont Yarn Shop. This is the Wonderland color. And you know what's funny is, so I bought this last year for Mother's Day. While I was cranking this up, I happened to just look at the tag here and I saw the price. You see that price up there? if that's what I paid, I'm shocked. I would have never paid that much for sock yarn. Never. I would have never. I don't think I looked at the price when I purchased this. I think I just grabbed it because I thought it was pretty and was like, ooh, it's local, you know, a local hand dye. I would have never paid that much. This one is another Andromeda sock yarn. Can you tell I like her yarns? I do. I actually have some socks already made with her yarn. This one is called Baby Yogurt. Isn't that cute? I've had this one in stash for quite a while. It'll be nice to have this as a pair of socks. But yeah, again, I have my own tubes already, and these ones are the ones that are going into Etsy. And then I have one more tube that was just sitting off to the side. I had cranked last year when I first got my sock machine. And so I just split it in half the other day because I had cranked the entire thing. And I'm not going to need the entire thing. So this one right here, this is actually from Knit Picks. I know it's called Beekeeper. I can't remember. It's a sock base. I just can't remember if it was Stroll. I think it was. Or something like that, but it's really pretty. Beekeeper, that's what it's called. It's pretty sock blank, sock tube. This one will not be coming with waste yarn on it already because, again, I just cranked this one as is and then I cut it off here. So it's really, it feels really nice. It's really soft. So yeah. I just need to take some photos and add these to Etsy. So all you need to do is cut these in half, heels, toes, and cuffs. I believe there is a YouTube tutorial out there already on how to do all this. I will have to, I think I'll link it. If I can find it, I'll link it in the Etsy listing for you so that you can find it yourself. But I think this will help me get my stash down a lot because a lot of them are single skeins of yarn. When you're, okay, well, not everybody, but me as a new, not a new knitter, but when I came back to knitting and I learned about this world of hand-dyed yarns, I purchased a lot of single skeins because I wasn't sure what the heck I was going to do. I wasn't even a sock knitter at the time. I just was like, wow, this is expensive, so we're only going to buy one. And then they've all been sitting in my stash for quite some time. This one's probably the oldest one, actually, that has been in my stash. This one right here, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. So I figured this will probably be a good way. I can have the yarn already cranked up into tubes, they can sit in my stash that way. It takes up a little bit less room too this way when they're folded up nicely. And then I can just do what I need to when the time comes. And I can share with all you. Excuse me. So yeah, this is what I think I'm going to do. I need to pull a couple more skeins and cake them up and then do this. This just takes time. It just takes a little bit of extra time to cake them up, split them into evenly, and then crank them. It just takes time. Okay, I think that is all that I have to talk about today. I hope so. My little list, that's it. It's on my list, so I hope you had a wonderful week. I hope your next week is just as great. I can't wait for summer vacation. I'm going to be honest, I cannot wait. I'm over hanging out with these kids at school. But yes, I will see you next time. Bye.